Okay, basically for the sake of this demonstration, I am just going to use a shirt that I was actually tie-dyeing, and I used a little too much bleach. This is what became of it. So if you use bleach, maybe take out a color that's already in the shirt, I would recommend getting that bleach out right away, because it will eat up your clothing, unfortunately. This here is some experimenting that I was doing with paint, and I actually didn't do it the way that I'm showing you. I actually brushed the paint onto and diluted it with rubbing alcohol, which worked too. It's really not that stiff. But then in doing all this experimenting, I came up with a different way, and so that's what I'm showing you now is how the process that I actually came up with. So what I'm going to do now with the rubber bands, there's a whole lot of different ways you can tie-dye to get different patterns. I got this pattern, for instance. I rolled the shirt this way, lengthwise, and then I twisted it like this. Alright, and I wrap a rubber band around it. I'm going to make sure it's good and twisted, and then wrap your rubber band to tighten up that twist. Kind of keeping the rubber band distanced, if that makes any sense. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, you see that? There's all kinds of things you can do, you know, once you start getting into the whole tie-dye process. You'll start coming up with more ideas yourself. That's what usually happens, especially if you're a crafty person. Alright, so now, just for the sake of this demonstration, I think that I have placed the rubber band. Okay, my camera keeps shutting off. I'm just going to choose, I already made up a few colors here. So one of the things I learned about alcohol is that it absorbs into the fabric and it spreads the color. So I've poured a little bit of purple in that one, orange in this one, and I think this is pink, like a purple, and this is a pink. Yeah, let's do this one, pink. Now, let's get started with this. So, what I like to do is brush it on, because then I have a little bit more control over where it goes. And I like to brush it in between the rubber band here. So I'll just kind of show you what I mean. You just start dabbing it on, and you'll notice how it just absorbs right in. And it's kind of cool to separate it like this too, the colors. You'll know what I mean when you do this for yourself. It's an awesome, fun project to do with you and the kids, or just by yourself, really. I use the little paint container over here with mixture of like soapy water, just to kind of rinse off my brush. You kind of don't really want to mix the colors just yet. Or you don't want to mix it onto the brush, you know. You just want to kind of clean off your brush each time. My dog is over here talking. She's trying to get a biscuit. Okay, so we've got the purple, we've got the orange. Now we're going to do some pink. One of the things you'll notice, like, I don't know if you can see this, but this color right here still has some of those little particles. It's not completely cleared out, it looks like. And it makes like little dots. If you see that happening, the best thing to do, rinse it off with some alcohol and try to rub it in so that it doesn't show up on your clothing. Yeah, it might be on the brush or something. What also you can do is strain it, twist it, and let the colors kind of bleed into each other. And what I do is I kind of just set it aside and let it dry before I remove the rubber band. And like I said, you can play around and do whatever you want. But while this dries, I'm going to go ahead and work on the next one. This is just to give you an idea of what you can do using acrylic paint. And it is a little bit of a process to get your colors using the acrylic paints and the you know, the straining method and all that. But hey, I mean, anything you do with crafts, you're gonna have a little work involved. Even when you go buy the powder, you still have to mix it. It's a little bit easier, of course. You're not straining and all that. It really works into the fabric. And you can also do a dipping method too. Just kind of dip it in. Okay, I think we're going to be ready to open this up and just take a look at it. Go. This is basically what became of it. And as I said, you can do any rubber band method, twist method, dip method, anything you want. The choice is yours. You can take the colors and just kind of dab it on. to give it those, you know, to give it lines. This is what I kind of do sometimes afterwards, to kind of blend in the lines a little bit and just kind of give it more of a definite stripe. When you twist it that way, you're only going to get one side at a time. So like this one, I just got one side. So what you have to do is when you roll it, you got to roll it the opposite direction to get the lines on both sides. You'll see what I mean when you start playing around with it. Not sure if you can see this. I'm kind of losing my lighting a little bit here. But there you have it. This concludes my tutorial on how to use acrylic paints, making your own tie-dye shirt of it. Good luck, have a lot of fun, and keep me posted as to how it went for you. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.